So Hawkeye just got released, with NetEase and IGN releasing both Hawkeye's abilities lineup and what he can do, as well as some supplementary gameplay of showcasing all his abilities with some commentary over the top. This is the only guide you'll ever need to be able to play Hawkeye in competitive and dominate the competition to climb the ranks and be the best possible player. In this video, I'll go over Hawkeye's abilities, playstyles, team compositions, agents to avoid, agents to target, and some tips and tricks as well at the very end, so stick around for those. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and comment below what Marvel Rivals content you want to see in the future. Without further ado, let's get into it. So Hawkeye has primary fire, which is just firing basic arrows. The longer you hold down at your left mouse click, the longer it will charge up. And as you can see, when it's fully charged, electricity will come around the bow. His secondary fire, or clicking 2 on the keyboard, fires 3 explosive arrows which split off, each having their own splash damage. Now, it is important to note that if an enemy is hit by all 3 arrows when they're in close range, it will only have the effect or the damage of 1 splash arrow. It's not like it will multiply. This is very good for enemies that are somewhat in close proximity together. His E, hypersonic arrow, shoots an arrow that deals damage to an enemy and then has a lingering surrounding damage effect. It has an 8-second cooldown. V, Ronin Slash, deflects enemy bullets and projectiles at range. However, it needs to be timed very well. There's no known cooldown for this ability. It will only work on projectiles including Enamel Spear or Punisher bullets or Winter Soldier bullets, and it will not work on, say, Spider-Man punching or Black Panther primary fire, as they are not projectiles. Crest Slash unsheaths the katana and slashes forward, delivering a major blowback to enemies, and this has a 16-second cooldown. It's great for creating space. Q, Hunter Sight, reveals after images of an enemy. Dealing damage to the after images will directly impact the corresponding player, making for easy kills. His space, Skyward Leap, lunges you in the current direction, acting as both a horizontal and vertical movement tool, allowing you to climb up to stronger and higher vantage points, and this has a 6-second cooldown. Your passive, Archer's Focus, aiming at an enemy for a longer period will increase the damage of your primary fire, as seen at the bottom underneath the reticle. Now, it does say that there is a team-up ability called Anchor, which will obviously include Namor. However, it is unclear what the team-up ability is. I would believe it would have something to do on Namor's side, as it doesn't specifically tell us on Hawkeye's side. Hawkeye is incredibly similar to his Overwatch counterpart Hanzo. Hawkeye should be played at range in different verticalities from the enemies to achieve higher angles and a stronger chance of killing. He is a sniper-type agent, playing from the backlines, behind shields such as Doctor Strange and Magneto, as they are the best, as if he can group up, he can still aim behind cover, allowing him to focus down his sights and have a higher accuracy. His secondary fire should be used when the enemies are in close proximity to each other, or if they're on low health and running back to their team. For these arrows, you should be wanting to aim at the ground to achieve the splash damage effect, so that is where it would be most prominently used, and is also great in using against Captain America when he's charging at you and when he has his shield up. For his ultimate, it is very unclear if it is just him who sees the after images or if it is his whole team members as well. Use different type of arrow variations as the best way to confirm kills in a combo. When being dove by Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Magic, or Black Panther, you can use Crest Slash and Skyward Leap to push the enemies back and create space before then pulling out your explosive arrows and trying to finish them off. You can also use explosive arrows and hypersonic arrows to zone them off. At this rate, your primary fire would be ineffective unless you're just spamming, however that would be low damage. You can play with your team and you can play upwards, however it is highly recommended that you are not the first agent engaging and that you are just more sitting back. You can push up if your entire team is doing so, however. Team compositions is absolutely critical when playing the right agent. When playing Hawkeye, you need the right team in order to do your job effectively. For vanguards or tanks, you would want to ideally have any shield type agent. Doctor Strange and Magneto are absolutely great picks, as they can set up their shields and you can still have perfect sight lines and shoot across and shoot the enemy while maintaining your accuracy and being protected, lowering the chance of your death. Groot and Captain America are somewhat great picks, however they're not ideal, and definitely avoid teaming up with any agents like Hulk or Venom as they move too aggressively for you. Duelists Duelists would include either Scarlet Witch, Hela, Namor, or any other projectile hero that plays at range. These heroes' abilities can complement Hawkeye's kit and can stay close to him in case if he needs to get out of any sticky situations. Namor would also ideally be the best pick as he would have the team-up ability with Hawkeye, even though that is unknown. Strategists. Now for your healers and strategists, Luna Snow is by far the best pick as she can offer damage buffs to Hawkeye as well as complementary healing. If you pair her with Jeff the Shark, Jeff the Shark, and Namor would have a perfect team composition with their team-up ability. Next in line would be Rocket Raccoon, as he has a damage amplifier himself and a regen pack in case if Hawkeye gets killed. His healing orbs act perfectly for both passive healing over time, and he can bounce back between the front lines and the back lines. Jeff the Shark also has a spray healing, and with his left shift speed buff, moving between the front lines and back lines for him is critical. Other healers are great, but not as ideal as the ones mentioned. While you would have the best team composition available, you need to understand who to target to get the best effectiveness for you. Hawkeye isn't one who dives in and can take on many heroes at once. He is obviously more of a stand back and snipe from a fair distance, but he can also engage if he needs to. These are the checklists you should follow when trying to pick a target to fight. So first of all, enemies that are away from their team, that are overextending, duelists who are not with their tank, or any flying type heroes such as Iron Man. You can do tank, however it's best when your team is around them and you are not the primary focus of them. The minute you turn a primary focus for a tank, you should disengage and have your team fight them. Low movement heroes who have low mobility, or large groups of enemies with little to no protection around them, and for these you would want to use your hypersonic ability or your explosive arrows. As well as that too, you'd also want team enemies which are being targeted by your team to quickly finish them off. Enemies to avoid. You obviously want to avoid taking fights with any dive hero as you cannot deflect their primaries and projectiles, and your cooldowns take a lot longer to come back up than theirs do when diving you, so it can make it very hard for you to actually perform your role if you're just getting dove by either a Black Panther, a Moon Knight, or a Spider-Man. Avoid shield tanks or any other heroes who can block your arrows. It can make it very hard to get picks when the enemy is just straight behind shields and you can't actually kill them. Any agent who has their mobility active or has high mobility too. Keep in note that that can be different to dive heroes as well. When you have characters like Moon Knight or like Hulk who can just jump away compared to Spider-Man or Black Panther who can just rush you straight away. Now onto the tips and tricks. Use explosive arrows at the base of enemy shields or on the ground instead of actually at the enemies to get the splash damage. Try for flanks and aim down sights on enemies that are standing still to enact confusion, but also to start the battle as the enemy will be down a character. When you use your ult, take your time to line up the shots with the enemy's heads in the after images. Remember, they're not necessarily shooting at you and they're there for a lot longer. Explosive arrows and hypersonic arrows are amazing for zoning tools. It can force enemies into weird positions and off onto platforms, separating them from their team. Your slash has a near 180-degree radius in front of you. Use it when multiple enemies are in front of you, and you can slightly move your camera angle to get the maximum effective range. Your dash is by far the most unique ability in the game as it allows you to move and shoot at the exact same time, getting both horizontal and vertical movement. Use it to get into quick positions fast and confuse the enemy, killing them instantly. Knock back your enemies off edges for absolutely amazing clips. And your hypersonic arrow can go through shields like Doctor Strange's shield and also Magneto's shield, as it can be great for zoning or for just igniting some damage off, allowing you to get your ultimate. So I hope you learned something new from this guide. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down below what your favorite Hawkeye ability is and if you'll be maining him or not. Tell me as well if there are any tips or tricks that I have left out in this video. Until next time, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.